Testing. 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 Shit. All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom Yahbashim Yahshua Brakathum to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shema Alatah, Bashim Yahweh to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Also, we are not affiliated with what you know as today as the Nation of Israel. We teach that also called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans of the Western Hemisphere are God's chosen people. We are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that the Europeans and so on and so forth are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right now, today, we're going to continue with Genesis. We'll do a brief, as we usually do, we'll recap, but we're going to be reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verses 18. Now, we usually do the 7 verses, and we'll leave it at that. We'll get our precepts, but we're actually just going to finish up the chapter. So we're actually going to do 18 through 29 today. With that being said, got anything before we start? Last, sir. All right, so with that being said, Majim, which means to stand, just me and the brother here. Sorry, speak. Sorry.
La Yashala, which means to or for Israel.
Sorry, speak. Sorry. Sorry, speak.
Abajum Apanyan Hakadam, which means to rise and face the east. We'll be doing the prayers in the Hebrew and also in the English. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayam, Shamka, Yahweh, Malawaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayam, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayam, Ashamaya, Natan Lanaw, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanaw, Kawaf now, Kasalak now, Kawaf now, Wala'a, Tabiya and Awa, Anasaya 1, Abal, Avashai now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatap Ha'aras, La'ai Walamyum, Aman.
This is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father.
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Thy kingdom come.
thy kingdom come,
Will be done.
thy will be done
In earth.
in earth
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread,
And forgive us our debts.
and forgive us our debts
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation,
Deliver us
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom
And the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. This is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah,
Shah.
Yahweh Shah,
Shah.
Natan Lanaw,
Thumb now.
Hakah, Hakah, La'pa'a, Kal Mach'alam,
Call Makala.
Bukal, Malawa,
Call Matawa.
Hakah, Latahar,
Hard.
Hamat is a Ryan,
How much is right?
Hakah, Lahaquanya, Hamatim, Hakah, All, Rakawaf, Hatama'ala, the God Shem, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Go, what up?
Water.
Amen.
Accomplish the power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please
give
us the power.
the power. It's like, please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name
In the name
of Yahweh.
of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. This is the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Ma'aka Allah?
Why Ma'aka Allah.
Why Allahayim?
Why Allahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Ala Wap Yahana.
Ala Wap Yahana.
Hala Wap Yah.
Ala Wap Yah.
Hasaranya.
Hasaranya.
Hakwata Zanyonyo.
Hakwata Zanyonyo.
Hasa Yayonyo.
Haki Yayoyo.
Waha Akwatya.
Why Akwatya.
Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Go water. Amen.
This is the blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
The angel.
And angel.
Commander General Yohana.
Commander General Yohana.
General.
The general.
The captain.
The captain. The officer. The troop.
And the sister.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Adenya, all, Harim, Bayan, Yaba'ah, Azoria, Mahaim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Ratazah, all your thun, number what? Resolve, all, yellow woman, Shamar, Nah, La'ah, yellow woman, Wala'ah, Yarishun, Shawamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazar, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Masmash, La'ah, Yakaka, White Rock, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, McCall, Right, Yashamar, Afnapash, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taz after, Wabba after, Ma'ata, I will
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence comes my help?
My help coming from the Lord. Which made heaven
and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
Will
not slumber.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber. Nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
The
Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
All evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going
The
out.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. Like Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all them yellow cup,
All them yellow cup.
all taka arash,
All thy karash.
all tashakwat,
All thy shakwat.
all kaya, enough,
Enough.
Owayabyuka,
Abu Yabika.
Yahama, Yawan,
Yahmah one.
Ra'ash, Al Aimuka,
Alimaka.
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Yahweh.
Sawadah, Wa'atha, Ya'atazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amara, Lakawa, Walakaki, Magalia, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Shom, Yash'ala, Awadah, Kaya, Yawa'atazawa, Labah, Yakadwa, Arika, Bariyath, Yakarathwa, Ahaya, Alawam, Wa, Yashma, Alayam, Bawa'aba, Wakaryam, Kabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Kalashah, Aim, Yeshaya, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Galawa, Amam, Hayawa, Zarawat, Banyalawat, Salah, Asha, Hum, Kamad, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Banakal, Yashwan, Nishab Mawat, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Latama, Shatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Wakasa Abu, Wakasa Bak, Wakasa Zalmana, Call, Nasa Yakamwa, a shark, a marble, Nagarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayam, Alahayam, Shatamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Ramsha, Kaash, Tabaira, Yaira, Wa, Kalahaba, Dalahat, Harim, Kun, Taradakma, Basa Irika, Wabasai, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Kualawam, Waya, Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, the Baraka, Aliwan, Alcohol, Ha-Al-Ratazak.
Now in the English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God. For lo,
Thine
thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
Being a nation.
from being a nation.
The name of
That
Israel.
the name of Israel
May
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of
The
Edom.
tabernacles of Edom
And the Ishmaelites.
and the Ishmaelites
Moab.
of Moab and Hagarenes of Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines,
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Esau also was run with.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They
life.
have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as to the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of
at the
Kishon,
brook of Kishon,
which perished at the door.
which perished at the door.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their numbers like a
Make
red.
their numbers like a rib,
And like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all the princes,
all the princes,
as the Ba,
as a Ba,
as the moon,
and as Amun,
said,
who said,
let's take ours,
let us take to ourselves
the house of
the
God,
houses of God
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before
as the stubble before the
as
wind,
the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
as the flames set the mountains on
and as the
fire.
flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy temper,
with thy tip
and make them afraid.
and make them afraid
With thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
that
name.
they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Let them be confounded
Let them be confounded
and troubled
and forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to
let
shame
them be put to shame
and perish.
and purged.
That men may
That
know
men may know
that
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most
are the most high
of all earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry, you may be seated.
That was good. I like that.
All right, so we're going to be starting. For anybody who's just now tuning in, the book of Genesis, chapter 9. Like I said earlier, we usually do 7 verses in the Hebrew, of course. We're still going to do the 7 verses in the Hebrew, but today we're going to do 18 all the way through 29. We're just going to finish up the rest of the chapter, okay? The priest and officer Allah is going to be reading in the Hebrew, and then we're going to give the breakdown in the English.
This right here. Let's see. What we at? We're doing 18 through 29. All right. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 18 of the Hebrew. Waya hayawa banya nakha haya taza ayam mana hata baha sham wakam wayapath wakam hawa abaya Kanaina Shalasha Alaha Banya Nakha Wama Allah Napa Taza Kal Ha'arataza Wayakal Nakha Ayash Hadama Wayatai Karama Wayashat Mana Hayayan Wayashakar Wayatagar Batawak Alahayam Ahawa Wayara'a Hum Abaya Abayas Laki Kana Aina Af Ariyah Abayawa Wayagad Lashanya Akha Yawa Bakha Wataza Waya Kwakha Shum Wayapath Af Hasham La Hasham Mala Waya Shayamawa Al Shakam Shanyahum, Waya Lakar, Akhar, Akha, Ranyata, Waya, Kasa Wa'at, Kasa, Wa'ath, Ariyath, Abayahum, Wapanyahum, Akha Ranayath, Wa'irayath, Abayahum, La'a, Ra'awa, verse 24, Waya, Kwataza, Nakha, Maya Nawa, Waya the I, Af, Ashar, Aisha, Lawa, Banwa, Hakwatana, Waya Amar, our war, Kana Aina, Ibad, Abadyam, Yaha, La'a, Kha, Yawa, Waya Amar, Barawak, Yahweh, Alahayim, Shum, Wa Yahaya, Kana Aina, Ibad, Lamawa, Yapath, Alahayim, Layapath, Wa Yashakan, Bahaya, Shum, Wa Yahaya, Kana Aina, Ibad, Lamawa, Wa Yahaya, Nacha, Achar, Hamabawal, Shalash, Ma'awath, Shanha, Wachab, Mashyam, Shanha, verse 29, Waya, Hayawa, Kal, Yamya, Nacha, Tashai, Ma'awath, Shana, Wacha, Mashyam, Shana, Wayama.
All right, both sides, clap it up. I see a few that's already tuned in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. So now we're going to begin Genesis 9 and 18 in the English.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 18 in the English. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan.
Okay, so now we already know that Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Right. Now it's already been clarified that Ham is the father of Canaan. Keep in mind for that, because we're going to go over some things later about Canaan, right? You got anything before we continue?
You want to get the definition of Ham?
Go ahead.
This is a what's the story? What's the line? It says the misinformed misinforms. There's misinformation claiming that black people and West Indians in America or in the West Indies are Africans, like literal Africans. No, we're not. We have different bloodlines. When you read a book called The Black Image and the White Mind, they've already proved that we're not the same people. These are Caucasian men proving to you that we are not the same as those Africans. Now we're going to get out of the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. There's no black people named Zondervan. So again, this is another Caucasian proving to you that the Negroes in America and in the West Indies are not African descent. We're looking up Ham. The word Ham in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 213. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
Okay, so those who have been in the school long enough know that we've given this breakdown many times. We have to give this breakdown because, like you said, the misinformed misinform. What's that saying? The blind lead the blind, stuff like that. So the reason why we say that we're not African, and I know that confuses people. Like, wait, what do you mean? Like, we dark skinned. We were enslaved, and we were taken from certain points of West and Central. I believe mostly West and Central Africa, some points of South Africa as well, Slovakia. Yes, we were there. No one is denying that at one point our ancestors were in this region of Africa. However, when we say that we are not African,
what he's bringing out is when we say we're not Africans, you have to understand. You have to understand the world right now. The world will make you think because you were born in a certain landmass that makes you who you are. That is everything opposite of God. God does not say that. Your bloodline makes you who you are. Why do you think a Rottweiler can't be a pit bull? They're both dogs, but a Rottweiler cannot be a pit bull and vice versa. Why? Because of the bloodline. Your bloodline makes you who you are. Just because if me and my wife go have a child in China, my child is not Chinese, okay? He has Chinese citizenship, but he does not have the same bloodline as Jackie Chan, okay? Or Bruce Lee. If my child is born on the moon, is he now a Moonite? If me and my woman have a child born in a submarine under the ocean, is my child a fish? No, that doesn't make sense to anybody. So quit thinking you are what you are based off where you were born. You are what you are based off your bloodline. Bloodlines matter. Bloodline is what makes you pure. When you go to buy a dog, you sure?
You fucking do a lot.
When you go to buy a dog, everybody should know this. In the black community, especially, but even Caucasians do it when they want the bullies. Well, not bullies, whatever the French bulldogs are. When we go to buy pit bulls, what do we ask the owner? Where are his papers? What does his paper say? I want to see what his papers say. Why? Because I want to make sure that it's a purebred. I want a purebred. How do I know it's a purebred? Based off its parents, based off its genes. This is science. The Bible deals with science. The Bible deals with bloodline, genes, washing your behind. That is science. The whole world, that's why we're in Genesis right now. We've just been proving science for the last 4 months. For the last 4 months, we've been proving science. This is the creation. Right now, you are looking at pre-flood. We're finishing pre-flood and getting into post-flood. This is easy. This is simple. Don't think because you were born in Japan, you are not Japanese. No, you go over there, guess what? They're not going to call you Japanese. You have Japanese citizenship, but you will not be your child will not be Japanese. Okay? They call you African American from Leo Scipio's Africana, who defeated Hannibal in the world's second Punic War. They call you America because of Amerigo Vespucci, which was an Italian map maker or English map maker. Those are two Caucasians. How can you both be African American? You can't be both. You're neither. You are an Israelite. You're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. You are an Israelite. The only people that can be African Americans are people who are from Africa, moved to America, and got their citizenship. You're a slave. You were born here. You're not African American. You are a Negro. You are a child of the Most High God. You are Yasha Allah. Remember that. Ready to say? Oh,
Yeah, no, you swap.
You got anything you want to say on it? I know you.
You don't know.
Just ham. Yeah, you know ham.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm not sure what you already said. It's like I have to take care of something.
Do your thing.
But I'm pretty sure everything that a lot of us already told y'all was correct. Yeah. So with ham, yes, like we are a dark-skinned race of people. You know, we were in Africa at one point. We just say we're not African, as in we are not Hamitic. We are Shemitic. We are Shemitic, dark-skinned people. All right. And I know a lot of people think that, well, you know, because you're dark-skinned, you're automatically African. They actually do that with a lot of people. I didn't know this because, okay, has anybody ever seen like, okay, Australia, an Aboriginal Australian?
Right.
I've seen an Aboriginal Australian before. This is like, I kid you not, this is probably like last year. I've never seen an Aboriginal. An Aboriginal is just another name for like native, like a native Australian. Before the conquistadors went over there and colonized as well. These people were dark, like dark skin, like not kind of dark, like dark skin. They have not exactly the same hair texture, but like curly-ish hair. You go to Fiji, they got froze. Right. Now, those aren't our people though. You know what I'm saying? But they're a dark-skinned race of people. Are they African? Are they considered African? No. If you saw Filipinos, even like maybe like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, a lot of Filipinos, very dark. And apparently, I didn't notice, there are still a lot of these dark-skinned Filipinos in the Philippines, but they don't show them. Right. Because, you know, colorism, stuff like that, right? Whole point being is, just because you got dark skin does not mean you are automatically a Hamite. Right? Yes, we were in Africa. Yes, we were put on slave ships, taken from all these different areas. And, you know, yes, since our ancestors were there for a time, we were going to pick up certain things. What is it? I think it's like Swahili and like all these other languages. Mm-hmm. You don't think we wasn't going to practice some of that stuff? Of course we were, because we was there. Right. We were there. Just like now, we speak English. Right. We're in America. You got Black people in Brazil. They speak Portuguese. You got Black people in Haiti. They speak Haitian Creole, which derives from French. It's a European language. You get my point. So, yes, of course, we're going to practice the dialect there because at that time we were in hiding, and what better place to go than to go hide amongst another dark-skinned race of people who have the same complexion as you. Obviously that didn't work out too well because, you know, the Lord had other plans for us, right? And we were going to be enslaved, right? Now that's all I got for that.
And if I may,
go ahead.
You have to understand what he just brought up
was a piece of history. He just brought out the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. We had to flee from Roman persecution to not get slaughtered as a whole by the Romans. You have to understand what's going on here. You have to think. You have to just think logically. This Bible is not magic. It's just logic. Even when Herod was unaliving all the newborn babies under 2 years old in Jerusalem, in Jerusalem, in New Judea, Joseph took Christ to where? He took him to Egypt. Why? So he could blend in with the people. Why do we flee to North Africa? To blend in with the people. Because to an ignorant person, you can't tell the difference between a pure African and an Israelite and a Negro. You can't tell the difference. You got to remember, most of the northern kingdom was already over here, so the southern kingdom pretty much remained in Judea and on the eastern hemisphere. Think about today. Let's say a country went to war with Japan, and they said, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna exterminate all the Japanese. Where do you think Japanese people would run to? They would go straight to China. Why would they go to China? I can't tell the difference between none of them. That's why they would go to China. Vice versa. If you say I'm gonna wage war on Chinese people, they're gonna go to Korea and Japan. Why? Because you can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference neither. But they can tell the difference. Why? Because they know their people. The spirit in them lets them know who their people are. The same way your spirit will let you know who you are. You can just sit around and talk to a bunch of Africans. After about 5 minutes, if they kind of look like us, within 5 to 10 minutes, you would know there's a difference. They don't think like us. They don't move like us. They don't act like us. There is a difference. The Lord put a difference between the Africans and Israelites. He put a difference between Ham and Negro. He put a difference between us. So like,
No, you 12, you can continue.
Verse 19. These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. You looking at, here's what you're looking at. You're looking at the whole earth was annihilated. And now Noah and his 3 sons have populated the whole earth. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Everybody on the earth comes from Shem, Ham, or Japheth. You know what happens? That's called sex. You know what sex is? Science. That's all they did. They did science in the bedroom, and they made you eventually. Verse 20. You got something?
No, you talk what?
Verse 20. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. Why did Noah plant a vineyard? Just like any man who works, you do a long. This man was working for I don't know how many years building that ark. Tired, sending out that dove. He was sending out that dove back and forth, trying to see if it was land, trying to see if he could let down the door of the ark, trying to make sure his wife and his children are taken care of, and his daughter-in-laws are taken care of. Trying to make sure the animals he got on the ark was taken care of. Make sure he had enough food. Being a logistical man, being a righteous man, it's tiresome. So you know what he did? He became a husbandman. He planted a vineyard, and in that vineyard, he planted wine, man. Verse 21. Go ahead. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent.
So now right here it says he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered in his tent. So pretty much Noah was drunk. Right, that's all it was. Noah was drunk, and he was laid out in his tent, and he was naked. Okay, now let's read what happens after this happened, right?
Verse 22. Mm-hmm. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his 2 brethren without. Okay. Verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
Okay, so now we see a difference. These are all brothers. Now, Ham, he saw his father, and pretty much he mocked his father.
Right.
Kind of like he didn't try to help him, right? Shem and Japheth, on the other hand, they saw their father and like, oh, let's cover him up. So they had so much respect and honor for their father. They understood like, okay, like Pops, he's faded right now. So let's get this sheet and they back up backwards so that they would not view their father's nakedness. So he's still giving that honor. You understand? Ham, on the other hand, did not do that. Now we're going to read that there was you got something? Of course. Yeah. So we're going to get into like the consequences of what happened because of that. Go ahead. Whatever you got.
I'll wait till the
We'll read.
yeah. Verse 24 is like, and Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done unto him. Verse 25, and he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren.
Can you read 26 and then we'll stop right there.
And verse 26, and he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. All right. Why did I just said Canaan. You are your father. Why did Ham get cursed? I'm gonna answer it anyway. The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 12. We have a few precepts as well. The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. We're already seeing the Lord has already had this law in place. Now, you know they had the law. You already know they had the law. How do we know he had the law? Because he was the only one that was just and perfect. How do you become just, or what is just? Romans 7 and 12, keeping the commandments. If y'all don't have a precept by now, you should go look at them other classes and get on these small precepts that we give you. Ham did not honor his father. Ham dishonored his father. That is all throughout the Bible. Your parents, you cannot dishonor them. And you have to think on a larger scale. Think about you and your parents. Even though you are in the truth, and even though your parents may have done horrible things to you and put you through horrible things, you still have to honor them. Why? Because they've done something that no one else on the planet could do. They've given you life. Though you get into it with your parents, though there are discrepancies in your ideology and your parents' ideology, you still must honor your parents. You still must respect them. You still must say thank you. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Yes, sir. You still must do it. Regardless of how you feel and how you think about them, you hold them in high honor. It's like,
You got another preset?
I got some more. Let's get Deuteronomy 27, I believe, 27 and 16. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 16. Now, this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel, who already knows this story. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother, and all the people shall say amen. Now, the set of light, that's what I want to touch on. What does set of light means, or set of light by means? If you're looking for, if you have a question about the Bible, the answer is in the Bible. All you have to do is cross-reference the Bible. Precept should be up on precept. Precept should be up on precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little, there a little. So let's figure out what this set of light by means. Let's go to 1 Samuel 18 and 30. Not too far. And you have to understand the context of what's being said when Moses told them not to, what he said? Deuteronomy 27:16. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother. Let's understand what that means. 1 Samuel 18 and 30. Then the princes of the Philistines went forth, and it came to pass, after they went forth, that David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name was much set by. Drop that. Get 1 Samuel 26 and 24. You stay in the same chapter. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 26, verse 24. And behold, now this is Saul speaking to David. And let's hear what Saul tells David. And behold, as thy life was much set by this day in mine eyes, so let my life be much set by in the eyes of the Lord, and let him deliver me out of all tribulations. What does it mean to be set by, or have your name set by? It means to hold something in high value. Your name should be highly esteemed. David's name amongst all the servants of Saul was what was set by on high. It was highly esteemed. You think a high value man is something new. That's in the Bible. I just proved it. I don't know what else to tell you. I just proved it.
Let's go back to Genesis 9 and what was that? No, Deuteronomy 27:16. Cursed be he that set of light by his father or his mother, and all the people shall say amen. Ham, he cursed the name of his father. He said it by light. And what happened to Ham? He was cursed. That's it. It's not hard. It's not hard to understand. You honor your parents. You don't mock and laugh at your parents like Ham did. He saw his father was drunk, and that's another reason why you don't get drunk. But he saw his father was drunk, and instead of him covering him up like Shem and Japheth did, he mocked him and told his brothers and laughed and made a joke about it. And Noah remembered it. It's like it.
All right. So before we get back to Genesis, give me Numbers 33 through 51. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've bumped into, and I'm pretty sure you will too, right? A lot of people, of course, believe that we're descendants of Ham.
Right.
And one of the ways that they try to prove this is because obviously we went through slavery, right? And I've bumped into some people that try to say that we are the descendants of specifically Canaan. And why they think that is because when you read Genesis 9, 25 and 26, it talks about cursed be Canaan, and he shall be a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And going further, and he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So you hear servant, you think slavery, obviously, right? You are serving another nation, right? You hear servants of servants, it's like, well, you at the bottom of the totem pole. They hear that and they think, oh, well, they obviously can't be Israelites because right here it says that, that they were cursed. They're going to be a servant of servants. Let's go to Numbers 33 and 51 real quick. I want to give you just a little brief history of Canaan and our relation with Canaan.
Verse 51.
Verse 51.
The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 51.
Go ahead.
Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when ye are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all their high places.
Right.
And ye shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land, and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it.
So the reason why I'm going over this is because at one point, so before Israel, it was actually the land of Canaan. And we were given this land as inhabitants for us. We had to drive out. We went to war with Canaan pretty much, right? So at this time period, we're ruling over what you at the time, well, it's still known as Israel, but at the time we were in Israel, we're ruling over there. And Canaan was under us, right? This was one of the curses that was put onto Canaan because now they had their own land and it was taken from them by the Most High and given unto us. So now they're under us.
Right.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up as well, Salakia, is to show again just the relation between us and the nation of Canaan. We're not Canaanites. And another reason why I'm bringing this up is because one of the things they try to bring up is, well, you guys are cursed. Well, if you read, this is like pretty simple. You can go to Deuteronomy 28 and 45 bucks for sure. They try to say, oh, well, you guys are cursed. It says right there that Canaan is cursed. So you guys obviously must be the descendants of Canaan. Not understanding, and after that, let me get Genesis 15 and 13 after. Deuteronomy 28 and 45. For sure. Take the curse. No, you too odd. Okay. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45.
Go ahead.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou had hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
So again, it's not just Canaan that's cursed. We can go over all day, I don't want to get too off track, about how we're cursed as well. There's many nations that got cursed.
The snake got cursed.
Like, you said what?
The snake in the garden.
Exactly.
Cain got cursed.
Cain got cursed. The blessing got taken away from Esau. Like, so
right.
I want y'all to understand this because you will bump into people like this. And they will try to warp your mind and think, oh, obviously I got to be Canaan because, Ham and, we were descendant of, no. You learn, first of all, you're not Ham. You're not even Canaan because when you read the Zonarists, which you already did, it says that Canaan was one of the descendants, but then it sections off not the Negroes. So it's already been stated that Canaan and the Negroes are two different nations as it is anyway. And obviously we have no relation to what you know of today as the Africans. You need to know this because I promise you they're going to try it. You got to debunk it. That debunks that. And just saying that, well, Canaan was cursed, that's not good enough. Because Israel was cursed, and it still is way more than Canaan. Can I get Genesis 15 and 13, Shot?
15 and 13.
15 and 13.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
So we hear serving in a nation that is not theirs. Who that sound like? That sounds like us.
Right.
Again, you can go all throughout Deuteronomy. We went over it 1,000 times. If anybody who's been in school long enough, you know we talk about the curses quite a bit.
Right.
It's like one of the easiest ways to prove that we are the Israelites, right? You know, you go, and again, just a little bit more into with Ham, we're going to continue in a second. People often say, well, you can't prove that. You can't prove that. Okay, you can go look up where the kingdom of Judah was on an old African map.
Right.
And it literally says Kingdom of Judah. And it's located in, I believe it's like the Benin area, which I believe is like West Africa.
Right.
But of course, we're not just there. We're all around.
Right.
My point being is the southern tribes, because it's not just Judah. That's another thing. It's not just the tribe of Judah.
Right.
Judah was ruling over the southern kingdom. And then I believe it was Ephraim. Ephraim is of the northern kingdom. So even at then, we were all together, but we were kind of split.
Right.
But Judah was ruling over. So it was the kingdom of Judah, meaning what? The southern tribes. That means not just Judah, but that means Benjamin. That means Levi. You got your Haitians, you got your West Indians, Jamaica, you got Trinidad and Tobago, you got the whole Caribbean. That's what that's talking about. And we were located in Western Central Africa, taken from Western Central Africa, shipped all over the world. It's not just America. It's not even just what you know of today, South America as well.
Right.
There were slaves that were sent to Japan.
Right.
There were slaves that were sent to China.
I should have brought my book.
Yeah, there were slaves that were sent to the Middle East. Like it's not just here, y'all. We were scattered abroad.
Right. The
The entire planet. That's in the Bible as well. So you need to know these things. This is proof as well. I didn't make up this map. I didn't make it up. Somebody else, they said, oh yeah, we found them. But sadly, that's because the Most High wanted that to happen.
Right.
Why? Because our curse is different from Canaan's curse.
Right.
We're cursed because going back to Deuteronomy 28 and 45, we didn't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments. So it's like, oh, okay, y'all want to keep acting up? Fine.
Got something for you.
Pretty much.
Right.
I got something for you. You ain't going to have my blessings no more.
Right.
You're going to be cursed.
Right.
So we were driven out of Israel, scattered all throughout Africa, took us from Africa, then shipped us all over the Americas, the Caribbean, Asian countries, all that stuff, right? And now we're just lost.
Right. Discontinued from our heritage.
Two different curses.
Right.
I just wanted to bring that out so people are privy of this because, for Lord allow it, for any troopers who may become future officers in the future, you need to know this stuff.
Right.
Because people are going to challenge you. I know, I ain't going to say all that right now. But yeah, but I know things kind of calm down for a little bit right now. I'll say that. But there's going to be a time again where you're going to have to go and you're going to have to teach. You're going to hold these classes too. I'm saying this for any young man or trooper who strives to become an officer in the Isupk and Commander General Yohana. You have to study to show yourself approved. I promise you. Because last thing you want is to not know something and let some fake Israelite or some heathen cut you. Not even, he ain't got the truth. He ain't even know this.
I ain't been cut in 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. You be uncuttable.
Right.
Be that. Salakia. That's all I got for that. We can go back.
If I may, let me answer this question. Quadashi Allah asks, if I may, sir, I have a question, but doesn't it say, but do not provoke your children? What does this mean? That's a great question. Now, this is another, I wouldn't call this a law. I wouldn't call this a commandment. This is more like would it be a statute? This is more like wisdom. This is not unto the child, though. Remember, I brought out honor thy father and thy mother. This particular saying is to the parent. Do not provoke your children.
Do not provoke. Okay, go ahead. This is what we do in here. And I really want everybody to understand this. We practice wisdom. That's what we do. This place that's crazy. I just put this on the internet the other day on Facebook. This place's wisdom is foolishness. The Lord wants a wise kingdom. Your wisdom and your righteousness is in the law, statutes, and commandments. The law is based off of brotherhood and loving the Lord. The law being based off brotherhood is based off what? Just being a moral and upstanding citizen. If you're a parent, you should not be rude to your child. You should not provoke your child to sin. You should not provoke your child to anger as a parent. As a child, though, if your parent is doing that, you shouldn't get angry. If your parent is telling you something that makes you mad, you shouldn't get angry at your parent and go off on them. You shouldn't talk to them any kind of way. You shouldn't put hands on them. You should still honor them as your parent. Mm-hmm. If your parent is provoking you to commit sin, you don't have to commit the sin. You just say no. Yeah. But guess what? You still honor your parent. The Lord, here's what the Lord is saying about both of those precepts. Honor thy father and honor thy mother. Parents, mother and father, do not provoke your children. He wants a cohesive family unit. There's no reason for you there's no reason for you to dishonor your father and mother if your father and mother aren't provoking you. Here's what the Lord, and here's the wisdom that I learned. You have to be the bigger person. You have to be the better person. Though it sometimes hurt because of pride, you have to be the bigger and better person. Your parents might not be an adult like you. They may just be old people who made children. They might still be childish, but you have to be the adult in the situation. Right. You have to be the honorable one. You have to be the one without blemish, without blame. You should be the one, even though they go off on you and all that, they should still be able in the back of their mind and say, my child is respectful and my child loves me. Mm-hmm. Regardless of how your parents are, you should still honor your father and honor your mother. They are your parents. The Lord put your parents in your life for a reason. The Lord chose those two to bring back your spirit. Why, I don't know. Why, I don't care. That's beyond me. But honor thy father, honor thy mother. Parents, do not provoke your children to anger, to wrath, to sin. You know what that does? It makes a cohesive family unit. Now imagine if every Black and Hispanic household lived by those two rules. Imagine it. There would be no family problems. There would be no broken homes. There would be no need of the conversation we have about the structure of Black and Hispanic households. Don't think so corner with it. Always try to find the wisdom behind what the Lord is saying. The wisdom is just the why. When we say the spirit behind something, it's the wisdom behind it. It's the why behind it. For example, I use this with Kadashi Ali. He called me the other day, and we was on the phone. And I spoke about the wisdom behind putting on a seatbelt. Why do you put on a seatbelt? You might think it's nonsense to put on a seatbelt, but you need a seatbelt. Why? Because if you get in a wreck, Lord forbid, you don't want to fly through the front windshield. There's a reason why when you have a baby, when the doctors pull you outside, they want to make sure there's a car seat in the car. Why? They don't want that baby, God forbid, get into a car wreck and fly through the sunroof or fly. There's a reason behind what the Lord puts in here. He's smarter than all of us. He doesn't just put something in here to put something in there. Yes, your parents may provoke you. Guess what? They're going against the Lord. That should not make you go against the Lord and not honor your father and mother. Regardless. Exactly.
And this is an excellent thing to take away from this class as well. I'm glad you touched on that a lot, because I understand that it's hard. It's easier said than done. I get it. Like, we all been through things, and I'm gonna be frank with you. I understand that some of our upbringings with some of our parents have not been the greatest. Some of us still deal with our parents being in the world. My parents in the world. I go through it too. And don't get me wrong. I love my parents. I love my father. I love my mother. But I understand that they're in the world, and they still celebrate holidays. They still celebrate their birthday. They still might eat crab, shrimp, pork, and lobster. I still love them though, and I still respect them.
Right.
You know, but I understand that, hey, you know, I can't do what they do because you want to be better than the people that raised you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even in here, we say it all the time. You know, let's say you're a father, you got sons. I want my son better than me. You know, that's why you own him so much. That's why you're stern with him. That's why you instill discipline in him so much, because you don't want him to make the same mistakes you did. You understand? For sisters, you might look at your daughter like, well, you know, I don't want her to, you know, do what I did when I was younger. I mean, you know, I don't want her to go through that because you know how it harmed you.
Right.
You understand? And that's a very righteous spirit to have. Same way we get brothers in here, you know, we get troopers, right? Or young men. And you hang around long enough, we might slip out and say, you know what? I want that brother to be better than me. I want that brother to be better than me. Right. You might be a 5,000, brother might be a 50. I want that brother to be better than me. Right. I want him to teach Sabbath better than I have taught Sabbath. I want him to give breakdowns better than I've ever given breakdowns. That's a very righteous spirit to have, right? You want to discipline him a certain way. Not saying, Salaki, I ain't saying anybody are sons in here. That's not what I'm saying. We all grown men. But I'm saying it's, I guess you could say there's a fatherly spirit behind that, which is righteous. So I'm glad you brought that up, the water.
Olivia, could you put your question back in the chat? Do we have 4 mothers like we have 4 fathers? If so, what are their names? If you're asking for the 4 mothers, or would they be matriarchs?
Let me get to that. Let me get the definition of matriarch.
Right. But if you are, that's cool. If you are looking for who the 4 mothers are, we can get that to you right quick. If you're talking about Jacob's or Israel's wives, we can get you that.
Okay, so I guess in a sense it could be a matriarch. It says a woman who is the head of a family or tribe. Okay, we really don't have it. We don't really have that. We do have 4 mothers though.
Right.
We do have that. Like, okay, going back to when Jacob got with his ribs, you know, Rachel and Leah. Right. You know, Rachel and Leah would be our 4 mothers. Right. Because he made the 12 tribes through the lineage of them. Said Rebecca. Yeah. All of them. Yeah, Rebecca. Yeah, those would be our 4 mothers. Yeah.
Leah, Zilpah, Rachel, and Bilhah.
Yep.
Was it?
Yeah, that's it. Because those were the other 2. Yep. I know they don't get spoken of as much, but no, those were his 4 wives. Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel through the lineage of course, him, but he did it with his 4 wives.
Polygamy.
Yeah, polygamy.
Much polygamy.
Much polygamy. All right, but yes, those will be our 4 mothers. Absolutely.
All right. 26 again?
Yeah.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 26. And he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Blow my mind. You wasn't listening. Blow my mind. Miss Orange. Blow my mind. What is being said here? And he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. What's the most important? There's nobody in here, so clearly I'm just going to answer.
Oh, yeah.
But what is the most important thing here? And here's what I want you to understand. Book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 26. And he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem. Let me tell y'all something. This ain't nothing new. Shalom Christ. Okay, this ain't nothing new. The Lord has always chose one family, one nation, one man. This is going back to Shem time. The same way we say to get today, the God of Israel, and then somebody says the God of everybody. No, we say the God of Israel. The God of white people. No, the God of Israel. The God of the Chinese man. No, the God of Israel. The God of East Indians. No, the God of Israel. The same thing was said back then. He was not called the God of Japheth. He was not called the God of Ham. He was called the God of Shem. Why? The Lord does not change. He is the same way he has always been. The Lord has always dealt with one person. He's always dealt with one man. He's always dealt with one lineage. I just brought that out earlier. Why is bloodline so important? Why can't a Rottweiler be a pit bull or vice versa? Because of its bloodline, because of its purity. When you want the papers of a dog, you want to make sure that dog is pure. I don't want no pit bull mixed with a German Shepherd. That's not what I asked for. I want a full 100% full-blooded bully. That's what I want. I don't want anything that unpurifies my line. And that is what the Lord is looking for. That is what the Lord has always said. The Lord went down from Adam. He went down to Seth. He went down to Enoch. He went down to Noah. He went down to Arphaxad. He went down to Eber, who names mean Hebrew. He went, I skipped Shem. He went from Noah to Shem, to Arphaxad, to Eber, who name is Hebrew, who went down to Abram, who name was changed to Abraham, who went down to Isaac, who went down to Jacob, who name was changed to Israel, and here we are.
If I could,
Yes, sir.
brother, you got a pocket? If not, we can hand you one. I got one. Because I want you to get you just pass that to me. Just take a look. Yeah, stay there real quick. I'm gonna have you get something out of there. Give me a second Ezra 6:54.
Tough.
Yeah, second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. Because as usual, we gotta bring this up every single time because there's always gonna be some Christian nut out there who thinks God loves everybody. It's the God of everybody. You know, he created everything. It's like, well, yeah, he did. he did create everything, but he got a favorite. You know, he has a favorite. You know, let me know when you have that. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. Go ahead.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54.
Go ahead.
And after these, Adam also, whom thy madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Okay, so stop right there. So it says, from Adam come we all, but then there's a chosen people in that, right? Keep going.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thy made of the world for our sakes.
There you go. Keep going.
Verse 56. As for the other people.
So as for the other people, we brought this out so many times. I mean,
Yeah.
but we started to bring it out because, again, it's going all the way back to Genesis, where it says, and he said, blessed be the Lord of, blessed be the Lord God of Shem. Now we get into second Ezra 6, and we have 56.
56.
Go ahead and finish that, Bubba Show.
Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam.
So who also come of Adam. So you like to make that argument. I'm pretty sure you've heard that before. We all come from Adam.
Right.
We all come from Adam. It's like, well, yeah. But what does it say about that?
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are nothing. Keep going.
But be like unto spittle.
Is that
It
it?
has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So that's pretty much a vessel. Like, think of like a bucket. You are nothing to the Lord other than like a spit in the bucket. Pretty much. That's not my words. That's not hate speech. Right. I didn't make this up. Brother over there ain't make it up. Brother right here ain't make it up. Commander Johnny Hanna ain't make it up. Moses ain't make it up.
Right.
You get my point? Like, this has been said and put out for us to understand because, yes, what they say, we're all human. Yeah, we all are human. You're right. You know, so if that's the case, then why talking about the Edomites, why do you treat us like we're not human?
Right.
Why was it at one point we were considered 3/5 of a man? You know, a dog had more rights than us. They compared us to dogs.
That is crazy.
So, like, nah, for real. Like, I remember, y'all seen them signs? Like, this is like back in, like, during segregation, they had them signs. It'd be like, no Negroes, no Mexicans, and no dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, damn. Like, so I'm an animal? We're animals now?
In their mind.
In their mind. But see, these are the same people who will preach this lie to you. And that is, but we're all human.
We're all equal.
The reason why they say that is because they don't want you to understand who you really are. It's a superiority complex. Here in America, definitely here in America, but it's really all over the world. Europeans, I'm just gonna say it, they run everything.
Right.
Even when you think they don't run everything, because the Europeans not in every country, but they got ties to every country in some way, shape, or form, right? And the people over there, they don't like them either. But in their mind, in Esau's mind, he is God. He thinks he is God. He's no different from Pharaoh in Exodus.
That's in the Bible.
You know, he thinks that he is God himself and that you should serve him. The thing is, though, how is he going to make sure of that? He has to keep you in a low state. He's got to make you think you're just black. That's all you are. You're just black.
you're an illegal immigrant. You're just Mexican.
Right.
You know, you don't belong here. They mock you for not speaking English, which really is an anomaly to me because the most of our northern tribe brothers have been pretty much colonized to speak Spanish. Spanish comes from Spain. Spain is in Europe. So you're mocking them for not speaking English, which I believe comes from the British, but they are speaking another one of your languages. But you mock them for not speaking English. And I never understood that. Like you actually bully them. And it's so bad because now Slovakia, a lot of our Latino brothers and sisters, they've been indoctrinated with this so much now. A lot of them, they don't know their original language. They have their different tribes as well, like when they came over here. But now they know, for the most part, Spanish.
Right.
And you know what happens? They call you, oh, what's that word? Slovakia. It's Christ. They taught me this. I think it's called a no sabo kid. A no sabo kid is pretty much an Americanized Mexican. And they'll mock them because, I think, what is it? A pocho. They also call it a pocho. They call them that to kind of demean them, like, oh, you're not really Mexican.
That's crazy.
You're not really like, because your Spanish not good enough. You know, you over there. You're away from the culture. And then vice versa, some Mexican Americans,
They hate them.
yeah, now they don't like the Mexicans from Mexico.
It's like they call them wetbacks.
Which is crazy to me.
Crazy.
You don't like them? I'm like, those are your people. I remember I seen a video. It was an Issakarite brother. He looked Issachar. Like, it's on him. He got all the features. Brother looked like he Aztec or something. I don't know. And I remember something happened in the video, and I can't even repeat what he said because I know this video is going to get flagged. Let's just say he said something very offensive about illegal Mexicans. And pretty much his argument was like, I was born here. You're over there. You over there. You're not like us. He was like, oh, you over there. I can't say exactly what it is. He's like, he said, your back is still wet. Like, you need to be over there. And I'm like, this is Issachar. And I'm like, if that ain't brainwash, I don't know what that is. At my slave, there was a brother I knew, another Issacharite brother, and this is crazy. They had him working, because I work on planes. They had him working on border patrol planes. You got a Mexican working on border patrol planes that are going to be pushed out to Mexico,
Right.
to keep the other Mexicans out. If that's not brainwash, I don't know what is. I mean, don't even get me started with Dominicans and Haitians. Dominicans and Haitians, they hate each other. Y'all on the same damn island. I don't even know what's up with that. Y'all don't like each other. So Dominicans don't like being called black. You got Caribbean people, they don't like the black people in America. Black people in America don't like black people from the Caribbean because in their eyes, it's, oh, you over there, you didn't go through the same struggles as us. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know that we was all in slavery, right? Like, it wasn't just here. If anything, over here was like the last stop, one of the last stops, I believe. They hit South America first. It's good to know all these things because we really got to understand that we are the chosen people.
Right.
We are supposed to be together. We're supposed to have alliances with each other. That's why Esau worked. I wish I brought the freaking book, man. It's the Black Indian books, Lakia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know they pretty much tell you how they deliberately made sure that the so-called natives and so-called black people didn't have alliances with each other because the Europeans were afraid. They said if we allow for them to side with each other, they will be too strong. So what do? They made sure to do everything that they can to separate us. They made deals with the natives. Because I know some people will try to argue like, oh, well, some of the Native Americans had us in slavery. There are black people that had black people in slavery too. If you can read about, I believe it's the Buffalo Soldiers. The Buffalo Soldiers were a group of, sadly, so-called African Americans who served under Esau,
Right.
and they were pushed out to go to native territory to kill them. Because Esau wanted the rest of that land. How do you think he got this land? He pitted us against each other. Now that the alliance is broken, now we don't like each other. Now you got natives living on the reservation. A lot of natives aren't even native no more. They are Latino now. And then black people now, we're like, we all messed up as well. Now, the same people that our ancestors were alliances with, now we're like, oh, we don't want nothing to do with them. We don't want nothing to do with the Mexicans. We don't want nothing to do with the Puerto Ricans. We don't want nothing to do with the Dominicans. And vice versa, they feel the same way about us, which is crazy because then on the low, we still marry each other. That's the cool part about it. Y'all be out here talking about, I don't like Mexicans. Brother, you got a whole Mexican wife. Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing.
Literally in my life.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I remember, oh my God, Salakia. I won't go too much on a rant, but it blows my mind, the brainwash. Like, it's really psychological.
Right.
Brothers will sit here and talk about, you don't like Hispanics. Your wife Puerto Rican. I see some sisters who say, well, I don't like black people. Your husband's black. Your kids are black. Shut up. Shut up. I'm not hearing it. No, I'm not hearing it no more, because that just shows deep down inside, somewhere in there, once, you know, some of that brainwash gets out, you still view us as your people.
Right.
So-called black people, you still view Latinos as your people.
Right.
You still view the Caribbeans as your people. Because it's in your spirit. It's in there. You can try to shut up. I ain't trying to hear none of that mess, man.
Right.
It's brainwashing. Esau brainwashing. It's like that's all I want you to know. Because even though, yes, we all come from Adam, we know this. We know.
If I may, I want to piggyback on that. Hey, Warrior, could you do me a favor? Give me Exodus 12 and 48 and 49 Bible Prashad. This is not Exodus 12, verse 48 and 49. This is not new. What he's saying has always been in Israel. Like this, we've always beefed with one another.
Yeah, all right, know what you about to get.
This is not new. There's a law specifically made for brothers when they go to other brothers' zone. This law stops gang banging. It stops tribe banging. It stops Northern Kingdom versus Southern Kingdom. It stops all of that. The Lord had to implement this because he know how we are. We love to rep where we from. Hey, I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana myself, but I'm not going to treat you any differently because you're from California if you come down to my city. No way you like the way you should not treat me any differently coming from Louisiana and being up here amongst you brothers. You should treat me the same exact way. Why? Because I'm your brother. Give me that word. Bible shot. Exodus 12 and 48 Bible shot. This is simple. The Lord, he knows us. He knows we like to represent. He knows you like to throw up your set in your hood. I get it. He get it too. But the Lord don't care about that. He wants something to triumph over where you're from. He wants brotherhood to triumph over that. Get that for me, warrior.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 48.
Come on.
And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee.
Hold on. That's what I want you. That's the part I want you to get. I want you to understand the word stranger. Just think practical. I am a stranger to California. Let's just use me for an example. Itazam is a stranger to California. And what are we doing? We are sojourning amongst these California brothers, these Southern California brothers. Keep reading, Ward.
And will keep the Passover to the Lord.
Come on.
Let all his males be circumcised.
Come on.
And then let him come near and keep it.
Read.
And he shall be as one that is born in the land.
Read that part again.
And he shall be as one that is born in the land.
One more time.
And he shall be as one that is born in the land.
Keep reading.
For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof.
One more. Keep reading.
Verse 49. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you.
That's one law that should be amongst us. This is talking about the Passover, but there are other scriptures that proves my point. The Lord understands that brothers travel. Brothers travel. When we talk about the Northern Kingdom coming over here to the Western Hemisphere, it wasn't everybody. I forget who was Asher when you read in the Romans, not Romans, but during the time of Christ, there was a sister who was from Asher. That's a Northern Kingdom sister up there, which proves to you that Northern Kingdom still dwelt amongst Southern Kingdom, and Southern Kingdom always has dwelt amongst Northern Kingdom. We all get wives from different tribes. Just because a brother is not from where you're from, you should not treat him any differently. You should uphold the law to him the same way you uphold the law to somebody you've been knowing your whole life. Just because a brother is born 8 blocks away from you does not mean you should treat him any differently. This one scripture stops gangbanging. It stops problems in the ghetto. It stops. I'm from Queensboro. I can't bang with a guy from City Grove. It doesn't matter. A guy from East Side, West Side, City Grove shouldn't bang against each other. Why? Because they're brothers. Brotherhood triumphs all. That's all that's being brought out here. Again, the wisdom behind, or the why behind, or the spirit behind the law is what makes the law holy. There's a spirit behind it. The spirit is brotherhood. The spirit is unity. The spirit is loyalty. The spirit is there should be no problems amongst my children. When people see us, we should have no problems. None. People look at us, they should see us in the club, no problems. People look at us in the grocery store, they should see us, no problems. These are upstanding, righteous citizens. That's in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, the 5th through 8th verse. You can get that on your own. I'm letting you know right now, the Lord has already implemented these things in place to stop us from having problems with one another. Slack me.
No, Isupk, brother, can you give me Jeremiah 23:6? Just like even like just to further elaborate, like because everything this brother's saying is truth. You know, this is again going through just like the brainwashing that our people have been through and continue to go through to keep us divided. That's why we're bringing up like, you know, the Dominicans don't like the Haitians. Haitians don't like the Dominicans. Mexicans don't like Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans don't like Cubans. Cubans don't like Black Americans. Black Americans don't like Jamaican. Like, shut up. Just lock it. I mean, I know I'm being a little blunt, but it really is just, it's really no different than what you just brought out. Like, it's like gang territory.
Right.
Like, you from over there, so I can't rock with you. Even though we are the same people, been through the same struggles, literally our history intertwined at one point.
Right.
You just got put over there and I got put over here. Like I'm Jamaican and I'm in America. I didn't even know I was Jamaican until like 6 months ago. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
That's funny.
You know, but I'm Jamaican, I'm a Benjamite, but I'm in America. Then I found out, oh, my father's side, they immigrated over here. Oh, okay. That just shows again, like, different tribe, but you wouldn't even know what I was until I told you.
Right.
And then now it gets even dumber. Now I'm over here. I don't speak patois. I don't got the slang. I ain't a real Jamaican slang. But now there might be some Jamaicans
who would say the same?
Yeah, like they say, they can call you a Yankee. A Yankee is pretty much like Americanized. Like, oh, you not, no difference from like a Mexican calling another Mexican a no sabo kid. Like, oh, you're American. Man, I don't like you. It's like, well, damn. Because I was born in a different landmass. Now I'm not your people. It's dumb. Give me Jeremiah 23.
Oh, Salaki, if I may, to prove that we ain't got to go nowhere, think about Peter's problem with the Gentiles being taught. Everyone in Judea was keeping the Passover. They were born in Judea. They were born in Jerusalem. They kept the Passover every year. They kept the law, statutes, and commandments, supposedly, but they were hypocrites. But anyway, the people born outside of Judea, the people who was really under Roman persecution, who really had to go through the Hellenistic time frame, and was being Greeks, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that were acting like Greeks, they were shunned and looked down upon by the people born in Judea. The Lord had already planned that out in Exodus. He knew that was going to happen. He said, hey, look, we know that they doing wrong, but when they come back, you treat them like one. You give them one law. All of y'all are going to be circumcised in the mind and physically. All of y'all are going to keep the law. It's one law to you, the brotherhood law. That's why Paul checked the hell out of Peter. I got to go find it, but Paul checked Peter in front of everybody. Told him, how you're no better than a Gentile, or you're no better than anybody else if you're treating these people wrongly, if you're treating these people harshly. Paul checked Peter, and Peter was the head of everything. Brotherhood triumphs rank. It's like it.
Go ahead. Jeremiah 23:6, and then after that, I'm gonna have you get Ezekiel 37:16. But you start with that first.
Sorry. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 6.
Go ahead.
In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell. In his days, Judah shall be saved.
Keep going.
And Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness.
Okay, so now, I'm gonna ask you a question. Who ruled the Southern Kingdom?
Who ruled the Southern Kingdom?
Yes, so there was a time we were all Israel, right? However, our nation was split. You had Northern Kingdom, you had Southern Kingdom. Who did Judah rule over?
You gave it.
I did. Let's see if you say it.
Who did Judah rule over?
Mm-hmm.
Like what tribes was with Judah?
Like what region? I kind of gave you the answer. I just want to see if you know it.
We had, the Levites.
Yeah, but who? I kind of gave you the answer. I said, I don't want to say it again because then you're going to get it. We were split. You got one, you got the other. So which one did Judah rule over?
Oh, the northern.
You said which one?
The northern kingdom.
Lie. It was the southern tribe.
The southern tribe.
Southern tribe. Judah ruled over the southern tribe. The southern tribes were the ones that went to Africa, trying to hide amongst the Africans. Right. Now, northern tribe, those will be your so-called today natives, Latinos, so on and so forth, right? Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is Judah ruled over the southern kingdom. But then it says, in his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel. Now, okay, I'm gonna just break it down like this. We're all Israelites, but there are times in the Bible where we're referred to as Judah and Israel. Right. So Israel usually was named like the northern tribe. Judah was the southern tribe. But right here, it says Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely, meaning what? Like, what do you take from that? Just think about what we were talking. What's up?
Meaning that they're one.
They're one. There you go. Okay. There you go. No, I'll take that. That's a pretty straightforward answer. We're one. That's what we're talking about right now. Let me get Ezekiel 37 and 16. The reason why I'm going over that is because we got to understand that even in the Bible, because you know the southern tribe and the northern tribe, we was beefing with each other, like you said. We had beef then. What you see today is nothing new. We were beefing then, and we was right next to each other, even though we were supposed to be all family. That's what's going on today. Keep going. Let me get Ezekiel 37 and 16. You're going to read 16 through 19. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 16. Moreover, thy son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of the Israel, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Verse 17. And join them one to another into one stick.
Into one stick. Join together under one stick. Pop quiz. Who ruled the northern kingdom?
Israel.
Yes, but there's a specific tribe. Just like how Judah ruled over the southern kingdom, which tribe ruled the northern kingdom? To give you a hint, it's actually in that scripture. There you go. Most High in Christ. Ephraim ruled over the northern kingdom. Judah ruled over the southern kingdom. But it says that we're going to be joined together, right? Any more on that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. Verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, why wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by this?
Go to verse 19.
Verse 19. Say unto them, thus says the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah.
It says, even with the stick of Judah, meaning that all the tribes are going to come together, right? Keep going.
And make them one stick.
Make them one stick. So we got 12 tribes. Let's be real. We know we all look a little different. Right. We know. We know. And sadly, a part of that had to do with slavery as well, because, Esau done, mixed his genetics with some of ours. So we look a little different. We got different skin tones. That's nothing. That's just another way to colonize you. I know up here we're pretty known to, the light skin versus dark skin dynamic, which sadly still plagues some people's minds. That was taught by the white man. He started Salakia like, okay, I know. Okay, I want to clarify this. We know that through the Bible, you are who your father is, correct? Now, you hear a lot of times where it's the white man who is Salakia raping a sister. and impregnates the sister. That child is not an Israelite. So now you hear of that a lot. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, if that's the case, how can we sit here and say that our lighter skinned brothers are our brothers? What you don't know is there were a lot of white women. I forgot the article, Salakia, but there was an article I read like some time ago, and it's really disgusting. These white women would have like sex rings, I guess, and it would be young black boys, and they would take turns, having sex with them, and sometimes they would get impregnated by these children, and then they would have their kid, and that seed would be an Israelite. Now, we don't mix in so much, I get it. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell, okay, is this brother really a brother? Is this sister really a sister? Or, that's why we have the Isupk Command Journey Hana, because we're going to test your spirit. Just because you got dark skin, you got braids, don't mean that you automatically a Judite or a Levite or a Benjamite. I don't know what you are. Because I bumped into a brother once upon I almost messed up. I bumped into somebody that I thought was a brother, and he was darker than me. Then I found out, his grandfather on his father's side of the family is a white man. And he actually knew, let's see, if a sister was to get raped and she became pregnant, can she get rid of that baby?
Crazy question.
Okay, so this might sound very harsh, and I know this might trigger some people. Due to the Bible, no, we do not promote abortion. However, this is what I will say. We've done this actually. If you do not want to raise that child, if that child is of Israel, of course, give it to us. Give it to us. Somebody in here was going to raise that child. That's what's going to happen, right? And now I want to make it clear, we're not promoting none of that stuff because it's actually really sick. Sadly, there are sisters still to this day who have to go through something like that, right? But if you don't want to raise that child, and that child is an Israelite, I'm saying that for a reason. If you don't want to raise him, don't abort him. Give him up for adoption to us. Do that, right? That way you can ease that, and you'll have a healthier conscience as well. Right. Because for those of y'all who don't know, when you do get an abortion, I'm getting too off topic, but when you do get an abortion, it does affect your body. Right. I believe you're more prone to breast cancer actually, because when you're pregnant, for women, your body starts to change, and you start to your breasts start to produce milk. Well, if you abort the child, it's like you're kind of it's like a chemical imbalance in your body. And yes, you are more prone to breast cancer. That's actually been proven by doctors. So, there are health risks with doing that, right? Just throwing that out there. Salakia. But just going back to what I was talking about, like the mixing and all that stuff, we're going to test the spirit in here. We know, just because you look like an Israelite doesn't necessarily mean that you're an Israelite. Right. We're going to test the spirit. All right. But with that being said, these are just tactics to make us confused. These are tactics to make us hate your brother. Oh, you're a little lighter than me. They have the stereotype of if you're a light-skinned dude, you soft. You soft. We hear it all the time, Or if you're a dark-skinned dude, you ain't got no emotions. You're gonna be a bad father. Crazy. Same thing. They have stereotypes for Latinos. You have stereotypes about Dominicans, Mexicans, so on and so forth, right? This has all been pushed by the white man because at one point in time, we didn't think these things. We didn't think none of this stuff. Complexion is just something that Esau dabbled into. He created the caste system in South America. Slavery was a little different there. Up here it was more blacks versus whites. Down there it was more, okay, the whiter you are, the better you are. So they actually promoted interracial marriages with our so-called Latino brothers and sisters. And if you looked a certain way, kind of like higher on the totem pole. Right. But the darker you get, the blacker you get, or the more indigenous you look, you're going to be at the bottom. So now that gave an inferiority complex. That's why a lot of Latinos, and I'm pretty sure my Latino brothers and sisters, y'all been around this. They make a lot of comments about your skin tone. It's not racism, it's colorism. Because they don't really believe in the concept of race down there. It's a whole different thing. But Salakia, my point being is, it's all garbage. It's garbage, all right? All that is garbage. We are from different tribes. We are all Israel. That's the point, right? Right. So you can't let that get into your mind. Salakia.
Okay. Give me Warrior Bible Shai. Give me Galatians 2, verse 11. We're gonna end that
topic with this. Remember how I spoke about how Paul cut Peter because of lack of brotherhood. Brotherhood triumphs everything. Brotherhood triumphs rank. This is crazy that I'm thinking about this. Brotherhood triumphs where you're from. Brotherhood triumphs what you think. Everything that the Lord has ever told us was based off of brotherhood. It was based off of it. And Paul had to check Peter, and everybody was scared of Peter. Everybody knew who Peter was. He was the rock. He was Christ's second in command. When Christ left the scene, Peter was he was the leader of Israel. He was the head of Shamar. He was the leader of the nation, of the righteous men. But Peter had to get checked by Paul. Could you get that for me, Bible Shah?
Yes. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 2, verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed.
Come on.
Verse 12. For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision.
Now, James is serving the Lord. He's under Paul. But what James is really under Peter now. But James is out there with Paul. And James was eating with the Gentiles. The Gentiles being those who were cast away or wasn't sovereign or did not keep the Passover, who were Hellenistic Jews. So James was over there eating. He sees Paul pull up, not Paul, he sees Peter pulls up. Peter's an austere man as well. People are scared of Peter. Peter's not to be played with. Peter's like, what's some famous, I don't know, Mike Tyson. Just, whatever Mike Tyson says is going to go. You know why? Because Mike Tyson's going to beat the hell out of him. So James sees Peter walk up. James gets up from dealing with the Gentiles. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And the other Jews dissembled likewise with him.
Stop. Exactly. So now that James got up because he seen Peter, the other Jews that were with him, that were under the circumcision, that were from Judea, that knew the law, that kept the Passover, they all got up as well and stayed away or shied away from the Gentiles outside of Jerusalem. Keep reading.
And so much that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation.
Keep reading.
14, verse 14. But when I saw that they walked not uprightly, according to the truth of the gospel.
Read it again.
But when I saw that they walked not uprightly, according to the truth of the gospel.
This is what Paul is saying right now. Paul has noticed that Peter and everybody else from Judea, they're not walking uprightly according to the law, according to the gospel, according to the truth. They're not being what? They're not being brotherly. They're excluding brotherhood. So Paul has something to say. Keep reading.
I said unto Peter before them all.
Paul is saying this to Peter in front of everybody. Imagine you walking up to Mike Tyson, just checking Mike Tyson. Just a 1993 Mike Tyson. Just imagine you walking up to him and about to check him in front of everybody. Keep reading.
If thy being a Jew livest after the manner of Gentiles,
come on,
and not as do the Jews.
Read.
Why compelleth thy the Gentiles to live as do the Jews?
Stop right there. This is a cut. This is one of the hardest cuts I've ever read in the Bible. It's one of my favorite scriptures. This is a cut. He's sitting here telling Peter, he's telling Peter, hey, if you're acting like a Gentile, but you're a Jew, you're from Judea, you're supposed to know the law, you're supposed to keep the law, you're supposed to be the head of the schools, but you're acting like the Gentiles. Mm-hmm. Why are you telling the Gentiles act like the Jews? You're a hypocrite. You are a sinner. You are not doing the brotherly thing. No different than what we were talking about. If you're a Mexican from America and you're talking down on a Mexican from Mexico, you are a hypocrite. If you are a Mexican from Mexico and you're talking down on a Mexican in America, you are a hypocrite. You are no better than him. Remember when I went back to earlier, as a man of the Lord, as a man in the truth, You must be the bigger person at all times. You must be the better person at all times. This is what Paul is telling Peter, and this is what you must do. This is what stops gangbanging. This is what stops unaliving. This is what stops tribe banging. Who gives a damn where they're from? We're all under one law. Love the Lord all thy heart, mind, soul, and spirit. Love thy neighbor as thy love thyself. Your neighbor meaning who? Your brother. This right here kills everything. When you start noticing this Bible, and this is why I'm so glad we're in Genesis, you start to see these themes arise. You start to see why the Lord made these things laws. Because you see how those laws are shown to you when they're broken. You see the problems we have, the curses we have. Why? The only reason why we have the curses is because we lack brotherhood. Brotherhood is over everything. Let me tell you something. Don't ever be a brother that don't care. Every brother down here that I know, we want to be liked. Every brother I know down here, we want to go to the function. Every brother I know down here, we want to be called when something is going on. Don't ever be the brother that just don't care, that has a problem. Don't be the brother that the mood changes when you walk into the room. When you come into the room, our mood should uplift. We should, warrior here. Yeah, it's finna go down. Top one here, it's finna go down. Altazam here, it's finna go down. Alada's here, it's finna go down. You should be that. You sisters too. But when we say brotherhood, we mean sisterhood as well. When you walk into a room, everybody should be, Shalom, Lord Christ, what's happening? You good? Well, let's turn up. You got some drink? Let's turn up. That's how you should be. Everybody should be happy to see you. Everybody should be happy to see you. They weren't happy when they saw Peter. They were so afraid, and they really didn't even like him. When you're afraid of some person and fear some person, you really just don't like him. You just don't like him. Well, guess what? Paul is cutting Peter. Same way your behind need to be cut too. If you got a problem with any brother that's black, Hispanic, Native American. I digress.
No, most high in Christ. I'm glad you brought that out. We're gonna wrap it up in a little bit. It is unbrotherly. If you start to look down on your brother or ostracize your brother or your sister because they're from a different tribe or they're born in a different landmass, because what does that mean? You just same way, who was it? It was Peter, right? Peter would so I keep getting them Paul. Yeah, Peter and Paul was teaching the Gentiles.
Paul was teaching the Gentiles.
Yeah, Paul was teaching the Gentiles. Okay, so no different than Paul at one point teaching the Gentiles, but you're not being brotherly to them. You know what I mean? You're treating them differently. You're not supposed to do that. Same way that he was being a hypocrite at that time, Peter was being. I was like, Peter, see, I keep getting mixed up. Peter was being a hypocrite at that time. You're being a hypocrite. You're no better than a white man.
Right.
If you don't like your brother because he's a different shade, you have a white man's spirit.
Right.
If you don't like your brother or your sister because you from Jamaica and then the other one is from Haiti, we don't like you. You have a white man's spirit.
Right.
You have embodied. That's why we bring this up all the time. Was it John 8:44? You are your father, the devil. Because that's who you are.
Right.
Same way that Christ was looking at them like, y'all hypocrites. Y'all talking about, we come from Abraham's seed too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, oh, word? But yeah, you trying to kill me? You are your father, the devil, because it's in you.
Right.
You're a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. All right? Don't be like that. And I know it's hard. I get it. It might be hard. Well, you can work through it. Life's hard. You can work through it. You've been through a lot of difficult things in your life. Right? Work through it, because now more than ever, we need brotherhood.
Right.
We need sisterhood, because you see what is going on. We just talked about, I believe, in Thursday breakdown. The earth is being destroyed. Right. But that's because of the Lord. He's destroying everything. He's destroying the Eurocentric society that has been built up for centuries. Why? Because Christ got to come back. All right, but we also got to prove that we are worthy enough, for Christ to come back. Because if we continue doing what we did before, Christ ain't gonna come back.
Why should he?
We're gonna be evil and wicked, and then he gonna look at us like,
you're not getting the kingdom.
Yeah, like don't be the. Ooh, I can't even say that, but don't. Right. Don't be. Okay, I'll put it like this. I'll put it in a more PG term. If you're doing something wicked behind closed doors, and then Christ decides to come back and he just catches you doing whatever it is
He's
you're
coming
doing.
back.
And he catches you and he just gets you with the and then keep pushing or might not do nothing at all and be like, you know what, nah, they ain't ready. I'm gonna be going for another 100 years or so. I don't know. Like you gonna be like, damn. You gonna be sitting there looking dumb, like come back, or them angels come by and you get beamed up. You see your homeboy, he getting beamed up, and you like,
Right.
what about me?
You know what you were doing.
You know what you was doing. You're wicked. You have a devilish spirit, and you need to get rid of it if you still think like this. Salakia. With that, we'll go back to Genesis. Actually, I'm gonna have brother read it. Can you go to Genesis chapter 9? Yeah, 27.
Yeah, we just finished. Yeah, 27.
Okay, go to Genesis chapter 9, verse 27. Let's finish it up.
9, verse 27.
Come.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 27.
Go ahead.
God shall enlarge Japheth,
Mhm.
and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
If I may, I'll finish with this. Why does he? It doesn't sound like a blessing, but it's a blessing because he curses Cain. I mean, he curses. I keep saying he curses Ham, but he blesses Japheth. Why does he bless Japheth? I'll tell you why. Because Japheth followed the lead of the man who was chosen to be God's servant. That's why. Everyone on the planet will be blessed who follows us.
Right.
Give me hold that and give me Proverbs 29:2. If you black people, you love Africa so much. You love everybody so much. How do you help them? Here's how you help them. You help them by serving the Lord.
There you go.
You want them Africans over there getting their hand chopped off for finding diamonds. That's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not friends with them. I'm not cool with them, but that's wrong. You know why I know that? I'm empathetic. I'm sympathetic. I can understand how that makes you feel. That's wrong. No one should go through that pain and punishment to find a rock in a mountain, in a cave. They're getting their hands chopped off. They're over there trying to get those lithium batteries. They're getting their hands chopped off of these things, getting their feet chopped off.
They leaders keep getting assassinated every single time.
The people them countries are ran by drug lords. Those people are corrupt. Man, these people out here in these indigenous countries, that people don't, the third world countries, that's wrong that they have to live like that. That's wrong. But here's how they get out of that. Since you love everybody, since God loves everybody so much, and you just can't hate nobody because don't nobody do nothing to you. Read that for me, Proverbs 29:2.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2.
Come on.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Read it again.
There you go.
Verse 2. This is book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
That's all I need. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The people will be so happy because they will be getting blessed from the Lord as well. You know why? There will be no more wars. There will be no more problems. Because of your great show of brotherhood, guess what the other people will adapt? A great show of brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is following one or two people. They're either following us or they're following Esau. The ones who are going to follow Esau, they're going to get done with Esau. The ones who are going to follow you, they're going to be blessed. Not as great as you, but they're going to be alive. They won't have to worry about wars. They won't have to worry about being starved to death. They're going to pay tribute. But guess what? The Lord is going to keep them open. The Lord is going to make sure they're blessed too and make sure they can multiply, make sure they have good running water. You don't want to drink that chocolate water they got in Africa.
Chocolate water.
It's crazy.
Water.
That's water. It's chocolate. Have you seen those rivers that they drink out of and taking baths out of? That is disgusting. If you love Africa so much, why don't you just serve the Lord so he can purify that water? Does that make sense? I digress.
No, you good. I really want people to understand that too, because that's some people might not get what you're trying to say. Like, well, of course, we're Israelites. We understand that we are a holy people and that we are different from everybody else. So we should be joined together, right? But at the same time, the Lord is fair. Put it like that. The Lord is fair.
Right.
he understands that the other nations are not us. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he like what's going on with them as well. Think about it. We were supposed to have the blessing for a reason. None of this was supposed to happen.
Right.
But we decided to be wicked. So when we decided to be wicked, obviously the curse came upon us, but the power had to get distributed somewhere. Guess who ended up getting it? Esau got it.
Right.
Now, the whole world messed up.
Right.
That's why I brought out earlier, like, has anybody ever seen an Aboriginal Australian? I haven't seen one up until maybe about a year ago. I didn't even know what they looked like. I thought all Australians were light-skinned. No, they dark-skinned, big lips, big noses. The Fijians, they had woolly hair, and I'm looking at the original, I guess, Filipinos and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, y'all look a little different. Than I started reading up on their history and realized the things that they went through. They didn't go through it as bad as us. We got the worst end, obviously, because we're descendants of Jacob. But they were also put in slavery. They also got their land colonized.
Right.
You know, they still doing it up, I believe, in Hawaii. There was this thing where they the same thing, like they get rid of the men, remove them from positions of power, and what they would do is they might not have been in chains, but the white men would marry the indigenous women. That way, their offspring could inherit the land.
It's like, if I may, that's the beginning of, I got you. That's the beginning of monogamy. That right there. They went over there and assaulted those women in a way that they weren't supposed to be assaulted. Hope you catch what I'm saying. They went over there and assaulted those women. Them Sabine men really wanted to go to war. But Esau and his cunningness came over and made a deal with them, which formed a what? A democracy, a republic. That same thought process from back then is the same thing now. He's a wicked ruler. He's a wicked ruler. I don't want another nation's women being taken advantage of in that nature.
You know what's crazy? I found out one was it's actually extinct, which is crazy. There is a people that actually don't exist no more. I believe it's in Australia. They were called the Tasmanian people. I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah, but they were the Tasmanian people in like Slovakia. When I read what happened to them, I'm like, damn, these are not our people, by the way.
This is wrong.
They like, okay, you know how they came over here and they killed off a lot of, the men and stuff like this. Same thing with our brothers. Well, over there, they actually successfully killed off every single Tasmanian man, all of them. Guess who was left? The women. And what do? They assaulted them over and over and over again until eventually all their descendants were white. They literally erased a people by what you just said. Now, here's the thing. These aren't our people, right? Okay, but we have compassion.
Right.
That's why I said, I'm paraphrasing that, the world, they're going to rejoice. Like, oh my gosh, finally, they got this maniac up out of here. Now, maybe we can, live in peace for a little bit, because, we're trying to prove to Christ and to the Most High that we are worthy of this. So, Lord, allow, we get this, right?
Right.
Now, of course, we're going to be in power, but now these other nations, they're going to be like, okay, you know what? These are godly people. We're going to work with them. They're going to have their land. We're going to have ours.
Right.
We're going to be the superpower. But now they're not going to have to go through the things that their ancestors went through. They're not going to have to worry about their women being essayed. You're not going to have to worry about Esau going up into Africa. I believe it's the Congo. And like you said, they're like taking up all the silver, the uranium, the gold, and you think Esau the one that's actually going in there and they're making them damn Africans do it.
And chopping their hand off. They try to. If you go watch that, whatever that movie is with the diamonds or whatever, the little African boy, he had, first of all, he was over there trying to get some diamonds or whatever. The mother had a diamond, put the diamond in his pocket. They saw him put it in his pocket. They unalived him.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it called blood diamond?
Blood diamond.
Blood diamond. Yeah, I see that.
They unalived the boy. Why? Because that's just what Esau did.
Yeah.
The boy was living in poverty. He was like, man, if I can steal his diamond, man, we're gonna be good. He didn't even have a chance to do that. They cut his hand off and unalived him.
You know what's crazy? To even say that he stole the diamond.
That's their diamond.
That's their diamond. Salaki, I know you had your hand up, brother.
I was just, if I may, I was just adding on what you said.
Go ahead.
About the original people in Australia.
Yeah.
So they actually they get treated bad too. They actually had their own little villages where they isolated and they look down upon because of who they are.
Yeah,
so
no,
they
I
actually
know.
get treated and they get hunted down in certain parts over here as well.
wow.
I watched the documentary on it.
Oh wow!
Crazy.
See the whole the water for sharing there. Because I read a little
crazy.
bit about that. I didn't know they were still getting hunted down though, the water. But yeah, here's
Like
the
an
animals. Like an animal. So going back to what you were saying, you love the world so much. Okay, fine. Be holy.
Right.
You want to save everybody? Okay, cool. You got to save yourself first. You got to save
Right.
your people. Focus on this.
Right here.
Now, Lord allow, because this is going to happen. I just hope that, obviously that we get to be a part of it. There's going to come a time where Esau, his power is going to continue to go down. It's already happening. More and more people not liking America and, the Europeans. We're going to be in power. And now all these other nations, the Filipinos, the Aboriginal Australians, the Polynesian people,
Right.
Indonesia, the Asians, they ain't got to worry about that stuff no more. They can live peacefully in their land. We will make trade with them and stuff like that, but they're going to have their land. They don't got to worry about being assaulted no more. They don't got to worry about their heritage being taken from them no more. Why? Because God's chosen people are now ruling the earth. Now it's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
The world is not what it's supposed to be right now. That's because we have a duty to be in power and we're not. Right. So now the whole world's suffering because we're not in power. The whole world is suffering because we are not in power. Take that. Okay. Salakia. Yeah, I know. For the sake of time, I know we can't. If you could, can you go to verse 28 and read 29? We're going to finish up. Sure.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 28. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 29. And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died.
All right, so just quick recap on that. I know some people might not understand, like, well, how did Noah live that long? I think eventually we do get into it, but we lived longer back then. Right. You gotta understand, we didn't have like all the processed foods. The air wasn't as polluted as it is now, so we lived longer. Now, you don't really see that too much. You're lucky if you hit 60, especially out here. Life expectancy is a lot lower. But that being said, we're gonna go to chapter 10 next week, and we want to just give the brief history of the difference. Even though yes, we all come from Adam. Yes, Noah did have 3 sons. These are 3 different nations of people, and it said it right there. I believe it's in 9:27, where it says that the Lord God of Shem, right, separately, we are a separate people. And since you love everybody so much, okay, that's cool. It's good to have compassion, right? But do it the right way, though. Focus on your people. You want to say everybody, be in power. Be in power and do what the Lord wants you to do. That don't mean, you get in power and then you want to start sleeping with Japanese women. That's not what the Lord wants you to do. That's great. All right, no. You going to restart everything all over again. Just like how we went to war with the Midianites, and then the brother took the Midianite woman into the tent and he got a javelin thrown through him because y'all here sleeping with her. And then guess what? It was a curse put upon us. It's like, that's a whole nother topic. My point is, don't do that. Right. All right. You can read all throughout the Bible about the do's and don'ts. We did all the don'ts. Do the do's. Sloppy. That's all I got.
If I may, just to end it all off, we've done Genesis 1 through 9, which is pretty much all of pre-flood. What you learn creation. You learn the tree of life. You learn that there were more people on earth than Adam and Eve. You learned that the snake was not an actual snake, it was a man. You learned that Eve brought sin into the world. She was deceived. She was beguiled. You learned about how the whole earth was formed. You've learned about interracial marriage and the son of the sons of God going into the daughters of men. That's interracial marriage. You learn that is the reason why the flood took place. You learn what being a righteous and a perfect and a just man gets you. It gets you to walk with God. It gets you to be saved. It gets you salvation. While everybody else on the planet was unalive, Noah, being an upright and just and righteous man, was saved. We've learned all of that. If any of these things sound random or not familiar to you, you should go back and watch these Sabbath service classes that we've been doing the last 3, 4 months, 5 months, just from Genesis 1 through 9. And the reason why we're going through it so thoroughly, and the reason why I really love what we're doing, if you can understand Genesis and you can get the full breakdown and the wisdom behind Genesis, you'll understand the whole Bible. You will understand why we are in the condition we're in today. You'll understand the past, the present, and what's going to happen in the future. You need this. Really pay attention. We're going through thorough breakdowns week after week after week after week after week to break it down to you to make sure you can understand what's going on in the world today. Like he said, we're going to get into Genesis 10. We call it the Table of Nations. There are 18 nations in the Bible. We're showing you how they're being made, how they're being produced. If you have any questions, just hit us up on Facebook. Call the school. We will answer your questions. That's it. I digress.
All right. So with that being said, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to close out the class with the prayers. So with that, I'm Madim, just me and the brother up here.
La Yashala, which means to or for Israel.
Sorry, it's me. Sorry. Imagine my post like it. Sorry, it's me.
Imagine Mapanyan Hakudam, which means to rise and face east. We'll be doing the prayers in the Hebrew and then the English. Just repeat after us. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malawaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kama Wasnawa, Kasalak Yawa, Kama Waskinawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Abashanawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapa Arab, La Iwalamyam, Aman.
Now in the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
in earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven. Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom
and the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. This is a cock the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh
Shah.
Shah.
Nathan Lanawa.
Now.
Hakak. Hakak. Nar Pa'ah. Kal Maka Allah. Wakal Malawa. Hakak. Lots of heart. Hamata Zariah. Hakak. Lahakoya. Hamakia. Hakak. Ow. Rakawaf. Wahat of Salaki. Hatama Allah. The Gar Shun. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shah. So Walla. Amen.
Now in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Please
Give
us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name
In the name
of Yahweh Shah.
of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you. So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Ma'aka Allah?
Why Ma'aka Allah?
Why Alahayim?
Allahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Halawap Yum.
Halawap Yum.
Hasaronyam.
Hasaronyam.
Hakwa Tazayonyam. Hakwa Tazayonyam. Hakha Yayoyonyam.
Hakayayoyim.
Waha Akhwawatim.
Wafim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
So water. Amen.
Now in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Mike.
And Mike.
The angels.
And the angels.
Manager on Yahweh.
The manager in your honor.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
Troops.
The
troop,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
Thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121. Asha I, Ayanya,
Ayanya,
all, Haryum,
Haryum,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Yaba'a, Azaria,
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 Ma'ayin,
Ayin,
Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Wa Ratazah, all your thun, number what? Regarka, all, Yalawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'a, Yalawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Ayad, Yam Yanka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makam, Right, Yashamar, After Pascha, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Afka, Wawa Aka, my thumb, what I will.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
Coming from the Lord,
Which made heaven
and
earth.
earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall not slumber,
shall not slumber
nor sleep.
nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
You shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even
forevermore.
forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all dama yellow cup,
all the other cup,
all taka orash,
all the rash,
wa all tasha kwat,
all the shakwat,
all
all
kayahana,
Yahana,
owa yabika,
our Yabika,
yahaman yawan,
Yaman,
ra'ash, al aimaka,
Alam,
ya ira yamwa,
Yahweh,
sawada,
Sabbath,
wayatha, ya atazawa, al
Al,
tazapawanyaka,
Tezapawanja,
amarwa, lakawa, wana kakida, magaya, wana yazakar, shum, yasha ala, awada, kaya, nawa atazawa, laba, yakadwa, alyaka, bariyat, yakaratwa, ahayam, alawam, wa, yashama, alayam, mawa abba, wahagariyam, gabal, wa amawan, wa amalak, kalashaf, ain, yashab, tazawar, gum ashawar, nalawa, amam, hayawa, zarawa, labanya, wat, salat, aisha, laham, kamadin, kasayam, sara'ah, kayadyan, banachal, kayashwan, Nashab Makwa, Bayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Gaman, La Dama, Shatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kara, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakaza Zarmana, Call, Nasa Yakamwa, Ashar, Amara, Naira Rasha, Lanawa, Na'awa, Alahayam, Alahayam, Shatamu, Kagargala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka'a, Ka'ash, Daba Ira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Kalahat, Haryam, Kun, Daba Datma, Basa Irakus, Wabasa, Wapaka, Daba Halam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kualawam, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kapara, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al-Yuan, Al-Kal, Ha-Ar-Ratazah.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For
For lo,
thine enemy
make
atonement.
make atonement.
They that hate
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
and
against
consulted
thy hidden
against thy hidden
ones.
ones.
They have said,
Come,
let us cut them off,
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name of Israel,
that the name of Israel
maybe no more remember.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together,
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against
the
thee,
tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab,
Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
and
Ammon,
Ammon,
Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assyria also was joined with them.
Assyria also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them.
Do unto them
As to the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites,
As to Sisera.
as to Sisera,
As to Jabin.
as to Jabin,
At the book of the song,
at the brook of Kasan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Like Zeid.
like Zaid.
Yea, all their princes.
All their princes,
As Zabak.
as Sabbath,
And as Amun.
and as Amunah,
Who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of God,
the houses of God
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Make them like a whip.
make them like a wheel,
As the stubble before the wind.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the fire burneth the wood.
as the fire burneth the wood,
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame sets the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them
With thy tempest.
with thy tempest,
And make them afraid.
and make them afraid
With thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame,
That they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord,
Let them be confounded.
let them be confounded
And troubled.
and troubled
Forever.
forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame.
let them be put to shame
And perish.
and perish,
That men may know.
that men may know
That thou.
that thou,
Whose name alone.
whose name alone
Is Yahweh.
is Yahweh,
Art the most high.
art the most high
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry, face me.